What's up, NBA fan? What's up, all sports fan? This your boy JB, host of the Behind the Bench podcast network and channel. Just giving a shout out to the rest of the crew and for everyone who's tuning in. I hope that you support Behind the Bench, become a subscriber, and help make this show the best that it can be. Now, this is something I just wanted to touch on real quick. Just take a couple of minutes. I know the NBA has brought forth the inaugural in-season tournament. And what's funny about it, what's perplexing, is there's so much confusion about, what constitutes, how do you advance? And I know it's based on a point system and all this jazz. And, see, I was thinking that when the in-season the in-season tournament started, that all teams in a certain pool be constantly playing each other. And then whoever, wins that pool advances to, I guess the quarterfinals, then the championship round. It's very confusing. It really hasn't been explained in stark detail, and when it gets like that, man, players confused about it. I remember Damian Lillard, Dame Dollard say, after doing a post-game interview where he said something to the effect of, I don't know what's going on out here. I don't know what's going on, But yeah, at the end of the day, they don't need it. And plus, players are getting injured on these courts. The court design, players are slipping on certain sections of the court and suffering injuries. Like, I think that was, who was that? Jaylen Brown for the Celtics. I believe he suffered a groin injury, something to that effect. So I just think they need to scrap it, and the reason that they don't need it now, according to what was expressed recently by, NBA execs or people who run the NBA, or maybe even the commissioner himself, they said the purpose of the in-season tournament is to stoke interest and to, draw more viewers. Well, my thing is, the season just started. That should stoke interest enough. New season, everybody feel, for the most part, that they have a chance to be better than they were the previous year. That should be motivation within itself. You didn't need these caveats, these extra incentives to go out there and play your best back in the day. Especially when it applies to superstar players. And they don't need this thing. And the main reason I say they don't need it is if they promoted these young stars and these young teams on the rise. Look at teams like the Orlando Magic in the Eastern Conference. They stand at 8-5. 8 wins and only 5 losses so far early in the season. And Orlando's been struggling for years. But now they've built a nice team, nice nucleus of players or whatnot, and they rolling. And it's just a thing, man, where, let me put it this way. To show you that it will work if they feature more. You don't want to shun the veteran players. They've represented and helped extend your league and move your league forward, throughout the past decade or so. You don't want to shun them. But every decade, the NBA did a great job of promoting its next generation of stars, even during the Michael Jordan years. And to show you that it would work, here's the proof. When Michael Jordan was at the peak of his powers, doing his first three-peat from 1991 up until 1993, they was promoting every big-time college player who entered the pros got the publicity as if they were seasoned veterans coming to the league. From David Robinson to Shaquille O'Neal to Larry Johnson, Lonzo Mourning, Penny Hardaway, Grant Hill, Jamal Mashburn, even like a Purvis Ellison who was selected #1 pick of the '89 draft. Derek Coleman, everybody got their shine. So you knew who those players were. And the Charlotte Hornets as an expansion team that started in 1988, by the time they completed their first 5 years in the league, they became a playoff level team. Their merchandise sales was tops in the league, even topping the Chicago Bulls as back-to-back champions and eventual 3-time champions. The Charlotte Hornets, then the Orlando Magic. When they came out, they was the first team that sported the pinstripe look on their jerseys. The Orlando Magic. And Shaquille O'Neal, Penny Hardaway, then Nick Anderson, then Dennis Scott. It was awesome, man. It was awesome. So they did an excellent job of promoting their young stars coming into the league. But your prime stars, they got their recognition. And then the veteran stars who go on to retire, like the Magic Johnson and Larry Bird, they got, a great appreciation, a great, I don't want to necessarily say send off, but just like a league-wide applause, a standing ovation for their achievement in the league. And the NBA is not doing that. So they had to come up with a concept of an in-season tournament when this is professional basketball. They don't need it. They don't need it. There's too many good young teams. If they featured, like, start showing Minnesota Timberwolves more so we can get familiar with Anthony Edwards. Sacramento Kings, De'Aaron Fox, Domantas Sabonis. Then Karl-Anthony Towns of Minnesota also. New Orleans, Zion Williamson, Brandon Ingram and the like. OKC, Sage Gilgeous-Alexander, and people like that. Now they got Josh Giddey and Chet Holmgren. It's there. It is there. This league can be on point like it was back in the day in the 80s and 90s during the golden era. They can generate another golden era that will move beyond this super team. That will move beyond this super team era. And it's like the in-season tournament to me, it seems like they coming up with trying to come up with another way to feature the veteran stars. But you got your young stars out here, man, and they balling. Look at who's at the top of the conference. Minnesota in the West. Minnesota, OKC, Denver World Champions. They should be showing Denver Nuggets more. And I'm not just talking about on like a league pass. I'm talking about on the major networks. You know what I'm saying? That feature NBA games. It's so many things they can do, man, to draw more viewers. All they have to do is promote their young stars. It's as simple as that, to where they can scrap this in-season tournament. They can scrap it because I don't think it's going to serve anything of purpose. There's no connection to postseason play. You see what I'm saying? And if you're a professional athlete, that should give you incentive enough to go out there and play your best. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying you're going to have it every single night. But I'm saying as a professional coming into the game saying, you know what? Hey, let's go out there and ball. That's what I'm trying to say. We don't need no extra incentive. But like I said, man, I don't think this is going to be a permanent thing that's going to last a long time. I don't see that happening. Maybe a couple years and they'll go ahead and scrap it because they don't need it. Now, the play-in tournament, I can roll with that because both conferences are so deep now, you probably do need it. You probably do need it at the end of the day. But that's just my thoughts on it. I just wanted to share that real quick. But until next time, give us your thoughts. Until next time, this is JB for BTB Behind the Bench.